everyone. My name is Nikos, and we've been working closely with Apostolos for many years. This time, after more than 10 years that we work closely with Apostolos, it's the first time that probably the events are so tight and the density of the events is so high that I had to log into our intelligence platform this morning before entering here to see if something happened last night that you needed to know. My presentation is very long, and I will not go through the presentation. I will follow the 12 minutes rule of Apostolos. My intention today is to make you understand, try to make you to understand what is the situation, what are your options, what to expect, and how we can help you. The map you're seeing is taken on the 16th of January, and it shows how strong is the impact in the global maritime industry of the problems in the Red Sea. I would like to take you through what is the difference and understand what are the threats today and why the threats today are different from what it was yesterday or some months ago, because everything changed within the last 4 months. We are talking about the period that started and the events that started on the 7th of October. Now, a couple of years ago, in the beginning of the 2022, the industry decided to declassify the high-risk area of the Indian Ocean, the passage through the Red Sea. From those days, we expressed our concerns that the declassification of the area was taking out the sense that there is a threat. What we expressed is that the threat, if you go back to the theory of the risk assessment, to have a threat and the threat to be serious, you have to have the intention, the capability, and the opportunity. What changed within the years? The intention is still there, the capability is still there, the opportunity was out. That meant that the people who were attacking the vessels in the past, the pirates, what we call, they were doing other business, and they were doing other business. Why? Because the mitigating measures were strong enough to make them earn money from other jobs. So that's why we saw that the attacks were fewer at the end. We haven't seen any piracy attack since 2017. And that changed within the last 4 months. You're all aware of what happened in Gaza, and it's the starting point of everything. When Hamas attacked the Israelis and they captured more than 240 people as hostages, that changed the situation. That forced the Israelis to attack Hamas, and an area which was always a critical area became again an area where we have a lot of tension. These are some key dates that changed and impact the maritime industry. It's from October that we saw the first attack from the Houthis. Why the Houthis? The Houthis wanted to support somehow what was happening with the Palestinians and the Israeli attack. They have a strong influence by the Iranians. They have support from the Iranians. So they wanted to express their support to what was happening in Gaza. So they started attacking the maritime industry. They started attacking the vessels that was crossing through the area. This is a map that shows you where are the Houthis based and which is the area that they somehow are influencing and they are controlling. So you see that they control the west area of Yemen. They are not state forces. we have to understand that they are not state forces. They have nothing to do with the government. They started as the opposition party and then became a paramilitary organization. They have a military structure, they have assets, they have capabilities, but they are not state actors. What to keep from these two slides regarding their capabilities is they have missiles that they can shoot, and they have drones that they can fly. And they expressed and they showed to the world their capabilities recently during a parade within the Yemen. Some key points. I will not go through that. It's 2-3 key points within that story of the last 4 months. First of all, we have to look into the event of the Galaxy Leader. I will go through that. Was critical also is the involvement of the international forces within the area. Started with the US vessels, the US Navy, then the UK Navy joined, and now the European forces are joining. So this is another critical event. Also, what we have seen is that now more and more nations are entering in that force to support the maritime industry and somehow convince everybody that the area is safe to sail through that again, which is not for the day. The Galaxy Leader event. The Galaxy Leader was a big ship, very high freeboard, very high speed. Through the risk assessment in the past, it was considered a secure vessel. It was considered a vessel that it was very rarely that would see an attack from pirates. So they didn't even hire armed guards on board. They were sailing on their own. Things changed. Why? Because the modus operandi changed. The opportunity changed. It's what I told you in the beginning. The intention was there, the capability was there, the opportunity changed. So the Houthi decided to attack the vessel both ways, speedboats and a helicopter. It was a totally different operation from what we have seen in the past. Only the Iranians had done such operations, but the Iranians were state forces. Now we're not talking about state forces. So they landed on the vessel, they managed to get off a team, and they captured the vessel. It was a critical event, show the world what are the capabilities of the Houthis, and change everything. This is an index of all the incidents that we have in the area. It's a long list. We're not going to go through that. Apostolos will have the presentation available to everybody so you can go through the list and check all the events that have happened. Now, an update on some key events that affects us, the industry. First of all, in January, the TANCO proposed that their vessels should not sail through that area. It was not safe. So most of the companies, most of you decided to switch and go through around Africa. Then we had other maritime forces that also suggested the same thing. Then we have the US, the CENTCOM, that advised everyone to go out and north, that 18th and east from the 46. Why? Because it was their attack coming in. And that also is another event that changed the situation, is the attack of the US forces and the UK forces against the Houthis. But we'll go a little bit later to that so you can understand also why that has a big impact. And then we see more and more events that are happening and getting into a situation. This is the heat map. Okay? Even the early days of the piracy attacks, we never have seen such a heat map. What you should keep besides what happens in the Bab el-Mandeb and the closed area close to Yemen, we've seen an attack 300 miles off the coast of India, a drone. That means that the drone took off from another vessel. Different thing, we haven't seen that years and years back. An attack from a mothership. This is what happened there. And it was more than 300 miles off the coast of India. We have seen a piracy attack, 400 miles off the coast of Somalia. Another thing that changed the threat is also that we started to see again piracy attacks. Nothing to do with the Houthis, nothing to do with terrorism. It's pure piracy attacks. They have captured some vessels, we'll see that later. They have captured the vessel. They haven't asked yet for ransom, so we don't really know yet what are the intentions and how they would like to escalate that, but it means that they found the opportunity that the international forces are looking for something else and started their attacks as well. So we see piracy coming back again in the area. Now, trying to wrap up a little bit to understand what I said, what are your options, what to expect, and how we can help you. Now, SAFETY4SEA statistics keep some figures. Only 2 of the 29 attempts or hits, we had a captured vessel. There's only 2 cases. Majority of the attacks are with missiles and drones. What's the impact? Is the impact serious? I would say no. What we have seen is 2 serious incidents. One was when a vessel was hit by a missile and the fire started. The problem there was the cargo was naphtha. The missile opened a hole and then the fire started. And it took many hours for the crew and assistance from some warships to control the fire. But that was because of the cargo. Okay? The second serious incident happened a couple of days ago when a UK vessel was hit. The crew claimed serious damage. They abandoned the vessel. They went to the Djibouti. The pictures we saw this morning shows that the vessel is still afloat, didn't sink, and it is abandoned within the Yemeni areas. Okay, so these are the only serious incidents that we have seen. From the pictures that we receive from our people, we see damages, we see problems sometimes with the not in the accommodation because it's not very easy to target the accommodation. Try to understand a little bit how the drones and the missile works. The missiles, it's fire and forget, which means they cannot be guided after they are fired. So you lock them into a target, you fire them, and it goes to the target. You cannot adjust that. So the possibility of hitting the vessel is not very high. So that's why you see that there was an attack, there was an attack, there was an attack, but it never hit the vessel or went down to the sea or fly over or things like that. It's because these missiles are not made for land to sea. Are missiles that were made from shore to shore, not against vessels. And they fly many miles, which means that the fuel, when they arrive to the ship, it's very less. So it doesn't create any big problem. The drones they fly, they have an explosives device, they have some explosive on top, and they either fall on the vessel or they drop the explosives. The explosive is very minimum because these drones are not military drones. They don't have the capability to load heavy loads because they fly again many miles before they hit the vessels. So even these drones, the quantity of the explosive is very low. That's why the damage we see is not very serious. What's the lesson learned that we have from this, trying to advise you what is the situation and understand how serious it is for you. As I said, the missiles, they're low fuel when they attack. They cannot easily target the vessel, and they are fired from land-based. The dark ships can even be seen. Switching off the IAs is not the right way. We have evidence that the Houthis, they have intelligence vessels. They have the capability to send information to where are the base where they launch the drones or they launch the missiles. So the targeting of the vessels is done actually by vessels that are already in the area. Okay, so even if you switch off your IAs, it won't avoid to be targeted, and also will not avoid it's difficult for the warships to understand who you are and where you are in case you have an attack. All right? It's very critical, the contribution of the warship, it's very critical. It's not possible to somehow protect the vessels in any other way. Only warships can do that. Only warships has the assets to either shoot down the missiles or shoot down the drones. No one else can do that. So their contribution is critical in the area. Not only because they are targeting the base where all these are fired and try to destroy the capability, take out the capability. Remember again the theory, take out the capability. So what we have seen from what the US forces and the UK forces are trying to do. First of all, protect the vessels that are in the area. So anything that flies, they try to knock it down. What else do? They try to find out where are the infrastructure that they are launching the weapons. And they try to destroy that infrastructure. Have they succeeded? Nobody really knows yet. Studies say that they still have the capability, 60, 70%, that they can still fire missiles or they can still launch drones. We also seen some de-escalation in Israel and the fight against Gaza, but probably this is only temporary. I'll go through a little bit the risk assessment to understand why we are running through a de-escalation, but it might go up again. Have they succeeded? Yes. They have destroyed the infrastructure. It's not easy to destroy everything. You have to have land forces. There is no way nobody can have land forces in Yemen just to destroy the infrastructure of the Houthis. So do not expect that. We also have seen cases that they capture vessels, which they are using them as mother vessels. So they capture a vessel, they put drones in, they put mobile launchers, missile launchers, and then they shoot again. I'm getting close to the 12 minutes? Okay, I'm over. Give me 1 second. I want to go to one slide. The last thing, what we can do for you. Besides what we are offering you all these years, which is the armed guards on board your vessels, the thing we developed recently is a tool, a digital risk management, along with an operations center. That means that we have a digital tool that does a live risk assessment of your vessel. Every time this is updated and advise you what to do and what is your situation. And also there is an operations center with a watchkeeper that watches your vessel and can easily support you in case of an incident. This is very crucial. Intelligence is very crucial. You need to know, your master need to know what happens at the time it happens. If they know that, they can take actions, they can get out of the area or do other things to protect the vessel. Thank you very much.